Welcome back to Masters of Success. In this episode, we're exploring the remarkable revival of Koehler Brewing Company. Joining me is Bryan Koehler, the Chief Operating Officer behind the brand's comeback. Let's take a walk through the brewery and learn how this legendary beer found new life.
This episode of Masters of Success is brought to you by MillionaireMatch.com, the world's largest millionaire dating service.
When the sun shines bright, take a case of Koehler home. 'Tis summer, 'tis time for the sight of a tall, cold beer topped with white and frosty foam. Take a case of Koehler home tonight. Get in on the secrets. Get into a Koehler beer. Get into a Koehler beer. Get into.
So, Bryan, thank you so much for being here with us today. So I have to ask you, how did the story of Koehler Beer begin?
Well, Koehler Beer actually got started in Erie, Pennsylvania in 1847. This fellow by the name of Jackson Koehler decided that he was going to start brewing. He was successful with what he was trying to do, to the point of being able to grow through the Erie market into a couple of other states. And by the time it grew to its largest point, they were in 12 different states. It's kind of a testament to the quality of the beer.
So what were some of the key steps you took to relaunch the brand? I mean, it sounds like it was quite an endeavor.
Well, the first thing that happened is we started doing some test batches of beer in a one-barrel system. And so we spent some time working on recipes. Initially, the first beer that we had worked on was called an amber ale. It's like a light Scotch ale. And it was successful, but then we moved on to working on a lager. And a lager takes a lot longer to brew. And we also needed more space to hold it. So one barrel system eventually got to 3, and then a 7-barrel system at the Grove City location. So the 7-barrel system worked fine. We were also able to put a small canning line in and a bottling line too. So started in Grove City, and then eventually we were able to acquire a property in Elwood City and started with much larger batches of beer. So that now we're at a 20-barrel batch of beer, and the varieties have expanded.
And so what challenges did you face during the relaunch, and how did you manage to overcome them?
The main thing is that we knew that it needed to be scalable. And so every time we went to a larger batch of beer, there were bugs to work through with electronics, with how the fermenters were going to operate. And we also had to, because we knew we wanted to can and bottle, we had to work through a lot of issues with that too. Those systems tend to be pretty heavy. There's a lot of working and moving parts to them. It's a lot of stainless. And so every time we took another step, we had to work through bugs. And it's challenging at first. And then as you grow into larger systems and you remember, oh, well, we've done this before. The next time you go about setting up a bottling line or a canning line, it goes smoother. And so construction has actually been one of the challenges to being able to produce good beer. So, and then aside from that, we're trying to build market share. So we needed to make sure we had people that were out selling the beer as it was being produced. And we ran into some hiccups with COVID, actually a really big hiccup. to the point where we weren't sure if we were going to make it. The state of Pennsylvania had created a lot of problems around COVID and how we were going to be able to operate. So that's, I would say, construction and COVID were the two main challenges that we have had to work through.
So now that you've revived the beer, what steps are you taking to market it and move it forward?
Initially, we were just serving the Grove City area. And then at one point, we were confident and comfortable that we were going to be able to serve part of the Erie market and then also Cranberry Township. Both Erie, Grove City, and Cranberry Township are within the 79 corridor, and from a transportation standpoint, it worked out well. So along with being able to spread the word that way and having outside sales, we also did print ads. We did a lot of TV ads, and we did promotional type things too, where we're out doing beer pours and sampling and things along those lines. And as far as in-house promotions go, St. Patty's Day is always a big day, holiday for us. And my brother would make it a point to bring bagpipe guys in. And so there was some of that kind of promotional type stuff, and then social media.
So on that point, how do you use social media to engage more with your customers?
Facebook is our number one social media outlet. Instagram, because they're tied to Facebook, also gets covered too. My brother handles all of that stuff, and he makes it a point to let customers know what types of events are coming up. And he does it on a weekly and a monthly basis. Does a very good job of getting the word out. They do a trivia night on Thursdays, and then generally DJ or their bands both Friday and Saturday nights. So it initially, paid advertising through Facebook was important. But then at some point, once you establish a customer or client base on Facebook, those ads go out and your cost per ad drops. We also do a good job of promoting the bands, and we cross promote with them. So if we have there's certain types of bands that are coming in, they will be putting out the word on their sites too, that they're going to be performing here. So that's basically how social media has worked for us.
And then before you revitalized Koehler Beer, did you ever think, well, I've got the name, maybe I'll bring this back to life?
That's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened. Yeah. So, our family, my mom's side of the family was from Erie, Pennsylvania, and which is where it originated. And so, when we realized that the brand was available, we took advantage of it.
And then what makes your brewery unique compared to all the other ones in the market?
When the recipes get established and we're confident with what we're doing moving forward with each individual recipe, we don't allow the brewers to deviate from that. And so there's a great deal of measuring that occurs. There's weighing grains, hops, and then as well as knowing the timing for when each of these parts of the process needs to happen. We strive for that, and we impress that upon the brewers that they need to be spot on with things. And in some cases, you have to measure things 2 and 3 times to make sure that it's right. And then the other quality thing that we do is we taste the beer. So every batch that gets made, even before it gets carbonated, we're checking that beer in the bright tank. And so it's possible to get a bad batch, but it doesn't happen very often.
When it comes to dating, I'm looking for a guy that's intelligent and hardworking.
Successful and ambitious.
Ooh, and kids. I want kids.
I like someone more mature.
Someone a little nerdy.
A man who could be my best friend.
And a solid partner.
Don't waste your time on other sites. Millions of high-quality ladies are looking for a man like you on Millionaire Match.
I'm ready to find my true love.
MillionaireMatch.com. Join now. Don't wait. Join now for free. Must be 18 years of age or over to join.
And what processes do you have in place just to ensure consistency and quality in your product?
We have seasonals that started out strictly as seasonals, which have gone on to become mainstay beers. And that's just a matter of having them available for our customers and seeing if they can want to continue to drink that particular style of beer. So we just try to pay close attention to what's going on in the market. For a long time, India Pale Ales were very popular. There were both West Coast IPAs and then there are East Coast IPAs. And we kind of knew that was going to wane, and which it has. That's not to say that we don't have them available. It's just that we don't brew them as much as we had. And it's just a matter of paying attention to what's going on in the market and talking to your reps out in the market and the wholesalers to see if they have any ideas on what they think their customers want.
And what is your process for developing new beer recipes, and how do you decide then, well, which ones do I bring to market?
Well, those are conversations that are had between a couple of people. Okay. And, we're drinking what's called a blood orange right now. Cheers.
Cheers. That is really good.
I'm glad that you like it. So, it started out as a summer seasonal for us, and it was an idea, and it's taken 3 years for it to come to fruition.
Have you ever met someone who was a fan of the original, and then how did you handle that?
Like I said, there are a lot of old timers out there that remember the original lager, and they I think they appreciate the current version of it more so than they did in their youth. The premium lager tended to be a little bit pungent, and that had to do with the grain bill. But our recipe now still tastes very similar to what that was. It's just been a little more refined, and they appreciate it. But yeah, we have people all the time talking about the old beers, the old Koehler beers. Mm-hmm.
And then was there one thing in the beginning that you wished you had done differently?
If I had my way, I would have tried to have made it more scalable, faster. We started with an electric system for doing test batches of beer. Came to realize that electricity is not the way to go for heating water to make the beer. And at one point, we even entertained a boiler system, which was in itself, it had a bunch of headaches too. So we finally got to a direct fire system, and it would have been nice to have gotten to that sooner. I think that it would have saved us a lot of headaches if we had gone to direct fire sooner.
And then as an entrepreneur, I'm sure that you've read many books. Do you want to share with us some of your favorite ones and what they were about?
It was the making of Anheuser-Busch. And the generations that Anheuser-Busch went through, the promises that they made to their employees, they had promised they would never sell out. They had made it through Prohibition, got themselves relaunched, made some mistakes along the way, and then eventually the last generation decided that it best to combine with AB InBev or create AB InBev. So that's an interesting read to me, to know that brand had started so long ago, and then to know where it's ended up now.
So what are your future plans for the brewery? Are there any new projects on the horizon or expansion?
We have a lot of things in place right now at the Newcastle location. It's probably not going to be operational for a year or maybe more, but we have 60 barrel fermenters that are in place. The brew house is in place. There are a lot of things that are there, kind of waiting for us to be in a position where we can make use of those. So we're just really just going to plan to continue to scale up, bottling at a faster rate, canning at a faster rate. So we tweak things, and we move on to better equipment every once in a while, and so far it's served us well. So we're just going to continue to do what we're doing.
So you got to tell me, what is your favorite Koehler beer?
I like the original premium lager. It's just it's a straightaway beer. It's incredibly smooth, and then my second would be our blood orange ale. That would be my second choice. That's not to say that I don't drink the rest of them. I like all of our beers, but if I were only going to have one or two, it's going to be the premium lager or the blood orange.
And if you were to share one secret or piece of advice of your success, what would it be?
I think you have to be persistent, and consistent, and I think you have to trust your people.
Well, thank you so much, Bryan, for being here with us today. This was really a fabulous experience, and I can't wait to go and take a little tour with you.
Get in on the secret, get into a Koehler Beer.
When it comes to dating, I'm looking for a guy that's intelligent and hardworking.
Successful and ambitious.
Ooh, and kids. I want kids.
I like someone more mature.
Someone a little nerdy.
A man who could be my best friend.
And a solid partner.
Don't waste your time on other sites. Millions of high-quality ladies are looking for a man like you on Millionaire Match.
I'm ready to find my true love.
MillionaireMatch.com. Join now. Don't wait. Join now for free. Must be 18 years of age or over to join.
That's a wrap for this episode of Masters of Success. We'd like to thank Bryan for joining us and sharing his remarkable journey. Hearing about his revitalization of Koehler Beer and learning from his experience has been truly inspiring. Thank you all for watching. And if you enjoyed this episode, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next episode. We've got more amazing stories of success and innovation coming your way. Until next time, I'm Shayna Pajak, and maybe we'll see you on the next episode of Masters of Success.
Koehler Beer.
Are you ready to elevate your advertising game? Then level up your business with Television Ad Group, the ultimate advertising partner, connecting you with your ideal customers in a whole new way. Whether you're looking for the bold impact on TV, the endless options of streaming, or the vast reach of social media, we've got you covered with targeted advertising customized just for your brand. So what are you waiting for? Contact us today and let Television Ad Group be the key to your success.